You know, at the very, very top of the sports world, when everything is on the line, sometimes the biggest battle isn't against the person next to you. It's a one that happens in your own head. Today, we're going to break down one of the most jaw-dropping upsets in recent Olympic history. It's a story about incredible talent, crushing pressure, and what happens when the surest thing in sports just isn't. This is the story of the fall of the quad god. And it all comes down to this. 3 simple words, no excuses. Not trying to spin it, just the raw, honest truth from the man everyone, and I mean everyone, expected to win gold, just moments after that dream completely shattered. And that, right there, just cuts to the heart of it all, doesn't it? But look, to really understand the fall, you first have to understand the climb. Who was Ilia Malinin heading into these games? He wasn't just another favorite. He was seen as, well, an inevitability. I mean, just think about that for a second. The weight of that expectation, not just for this year, but for decades. The entire figure skating world had basically already placed that gold medal right around his neck before he even stepped on the ice in Milan. And here's why everyone thought that. 2, that's how many consecutive world championship titles he had. He had already proven on the world's biggest stages that he was the best on the planet. This wasn't just hype, it was a cold, hard, proven track record of dominance. And this number, wow, this just shows you how unbeatable he was. He was on a 14 competition unbeaten streak. 14! For over 2 years, he simply did not lose. Winning was just what he did. Oh, and he knew how good he was. He even called himself the quad god. It was this nod to his unbelievable, almost revolutionary ability to land these quadruple jumps, the highest scoring, riskiest moves in the whole sport, like it was nothing. He wasn't just winning, he was literally changing the game. So you've got this unstoppable force, right? A skater who just doesn't lose. But then you get to the Olympics. And the Olympics are a different animal entirely. And that's where the pressure really started to mount. It's the one stage that's bigger than the sport itself. All that history, the Olympic rings, billions of people watching from home, it just adds this layer of pressure that you can't prepare for anywhere else. And for Ilia Malinin, the first little cracks started to show. And this is where we saw the first little warning sign. In the team event, he started making these mistakes that were just so out of character for him. A step out on a triple axel, an under-rotated quad. These aren't just little wobbles, they're major lapses for a machine like him. And he said it himself, the reason was that Olympic pressure. But hey, he's a champion, right? And what do champions do? They bounce back. And heading into the final, the individual skate, he put himself in the absolute perfect position to win. After the short program, this was his lead, 5 full points. Now, for anyone who doesn't live and breathe figure skating, let me tell you, 5 points is a huge lead. It's a massive cushion, you know? Enough that he could make a small mistake and still cruise to victory. Or so we thought. I mean, look at that. He laid down a massive score of 108.16. It really felt like he'd shaken off those jitters from the team event. The pressure was now squarely on everybody else's shoulders. All he had to do was just be himself, the guy who hadn't lost in 2 years. So there he is. He's the last to skate. He knows exactly what score he needs. He's done it a million times. It was his gold to lose. I mean, seriously, what could possibly go wrong? And then, the unthinkable happened. In just 4.5 minutes, the surest thing in sports became one of its most stunning, shocking, cautionary tales. And you have to hear it in his own words to really understand what was going on inside his head at that moment. For an athlete at that level, performance is all about muscle memory, trusting thousands of hours of training. But right then, his mind took over. And that's the one thing that can derail a champion, thinking too much at the worst possible time. And this is how it all fell apart. It was just a cascade of errors, one after another. He lands the first jump and you're thinking, okay, he's fine. But then he bails on his signature jump, the quad axel. Then a fall. Then he pops a quad loop down to a double, which basically gets him 0 points for it. And then a second fall. It was like watching a total system failure in slow motion. And when the music finally stopped, there was no triumphant pose, just a young man standing alone in the middle of all that ice, shaking his head, looking almost as shocked as the rest of the world. The dream was just over. So, when all the dust settled, what did the aftermath look like? Where did the quad god end up when the points were all tallied? 15th. Let that sink in for a second. That was his placement in the free skate alone. Out of 24 of the best skaters in the entire world, the two-time reigning world champion finished in 15th place on the night. It's just a staggering number. And here's the final result. That huge lead he had from the short program, it wasn't nearly enough to save him. He dropped all the way down to 8th place. And while Malinin had to face the cameras, Mikhail Shaidorov of Kazakhstan, who skated an absolutely beautiful program, stood on top of the podium, the new Olympic champion.
But even in that moment of crushing public disappointment, this was Malinin's response. There's a real quiet dignity to that, isn't there? No lashing out, no hiding, just an acceptance of what happened and an immediate look toward the future. And that's what the story really leaves us with, right? That question. Ilia Malinin didn't really lose to another skater that night. He lost to the moment. It's just such a powerful reminder that at the highest levels, physical perfection is only half the battle. The real championship is so often won or lost in the mind.